How's it going? Welcome back. It's Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Coffee. Got another Texas whiskey here for you. This is actually a single malt whiskey, and it's from Spirit of Texas Independent Distillery, and they call this Pfluger Single Malt. So it's out of Pflugerville, Texas. Again, not very far from here, maybe hour drive. Nice little distillery. Took a tour of this. I'll throw some pictures up. And it was just, for the tour, it was just me and my wife, so that was actually really nice. We got there, we were able to taste the single malt. I think a gin or a vodka, if I remember correctly. No, I'm sorry, it was the silver rum. They do a silver rum, and then they have a pecan-infused type rum called Pecan Street Rum. So we got to taste those and then take a tour of the distillery. They didn't have Glencairn glasses. They did have this, I call it the Weeble Wobble glass because it'll kind of just Weeble Wobble back and forth without spilling. And got their logo on it. That's the single malt there. Come around. Got a nice color to it. Little oily, which I like. I like when it's got nice legs. Usually that means it's gonna coat the tongue real nicely. Usually give you a nice finish. So this is, and I'm looking at their website, the grain bill. It's 80% malted barley, 20% rye, and then of course they say 100% Texas. Now this did win quite a few gold medals. So best Texas single malt, best American single malt, best of category, and then a gold medal. And most of these were, one was at Texas Whiskey Festival this year, 50 best competition last year, American Distilling Institute in 2016, and then San Francisco World Spirits in 2016. So it's got some awards to it, and this is a really nice whiskey here. So 46 ABV, 92 proof. This is a 750 milliliter bottle. I got this back in April, and this is batch number, I think that's a 017. It might be a 617. I'll just show it right there. So it's either batch number 17 or batch number 617. But it looks more like a zero to me. So let's go ahead and nose this, and I'll throw. I didn't take a whole bunch of pictures. Again, it was a smaller distillery, but again, I like those distilleries. You get more of a one-on-one type feel with either the owner or the distiller, whoever it is that happens to be giving the tour. I think the guy that was there was co-owner and one of the distillers, I believe, if I remember correctly. But on the nose, as we saw the color on the nose, of course it smells like a single malt. I mean, I wouldn't say that I would mistake this for Scotch or anything like this, but it does have that single malt characteristic. And probably because of the glass, that might be why I'm getting a little bit of the alcohol. If I remember from a Glencairn, I didn't really get any burn on the nose. But I thought, since I got the glass from there, and sometimes it's nice to just try them out of a different glass just to see what kind of differences you get on the nose and the taste. Excuse me. So definitely getting that malted barley. And I'm getting a slight, very, very slight anise, black licorice, and that's most likely from the rye. Orange zest or orange peel. Little bit of that barrel spice. A little sweetness to it, but not like a sugar candy type sweetness, just kind of like a natural, maybe like sweetness from a fruit, or it could be that citrus type sweetness, like if you had a nice sweet juicy orange. Smells really nice. You can see I like this. I try not to drink them down too fast. I like to just kind of hold on to them and savor them and really get to know them. But very nice on the nose. So right, as soon as you take the drink, you get that spiciness from the rye and possibly the barrels. It feels more like a rye spice than the wood spice, and it actually goes into the finish. So I like that. Get a little bit of that black licorice, that anise, on the mid palate to the finish. So it didn't taste right away, but as it was kind of coating the tongue and then swallowing, you could get a little bit of that. But it's really, really faint. And then it's got that what I call single malt type note. I guess that's the barley, something that I kind of get from any single malt, like a Scotch. But again, this is not, you wouldn't confuse this, or I guess most people wouldn't confuse this for Scotch. If you did a blind tasting, you probably wouldn't call this some type of Scotch. That citrus is starting to come out a little bit more on the nose. Little hint of brown sugar. Still that anise, the black licorice, but again, it's super faint. It's not harsh at all, so I'm not getting any kind of like alcohol burn or sting, or sometimes the higher proofs you might get like a little numbness on your tongue, or it'll feel spiky on the tongue. I'm not getting any of that, but this is it's not a high proof, so 92 proof. Under 100, again, I won't add water to this. I like it exactly like it is. Usually I'm only going to add water to something that has that's 100 proof or higher. So 50% ABV or higher. Very good. Very easy sipper. If you wanted to, I guess, introduce somebody to single malt whiskey or Scotch, this might be something that you could start someone off with. I could see this doing good with an ice cube or a little bit of water to tame it down a little bit for somebody that's new into whiskey. I would be curious to see what this how this would be at 50 or even 60% ABV. And I believe I only paid about $35, maybe $40 for this. It wasn't very expensive, which was really nice as well. And they do have this at Total Wine as well in the Austin area, so you don't have to go to the distillery. But it's a nice place to visit. They have a nice little tasting room. They've got a little, and I took a picture of it, a little kind of like a shrine. They've got a couple of their expressions there with some gold medals and things like that. So really cool. Nice lounge area, and then outside they have a kind of a stage and some picnic tables and things like that. They do live music events and that type of thing there. So nice place to visit if you ever get a chance. Look them up. Spirit of Texas Distillery. And then the Pfluger Single Malt. They also do rum. They have a white rum, which was actually pretty good. And then they have the Pecan Street rum. And I'll probably I may do a video on that one as well. But this is, it's really good. The finish is, I'd say, medium type finish. Doesn't stay with you forever, but it doesn't just drop off and disappear. I'm still getting little hints of the barley and the black licorice, but in a good way. It's not sweet, but it's also not sour, and it's just got that nice citrus nose to it. Almost get a little bit of it in the palate, but again, what's most dominant to me into the finish is just that spice, that rye spice. So again, it's 80% malted barley and then 20% rye. Really good stuff. All right, you guys know what to do. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you've had it, if you've been there, if you've even heard of them, or if maybe this is the first time you're hearing of them. Really good whiskey, right out of Texas, out of Central Texas. Hey, for the price, I'll definitely would buy this again. Really good stuff. Share it, whatever the case is. All right, you guys have a great day. Cheers.